Welcome to D.I.Y with me, Chilamo Zulu, aka Chichi Badu. And on this episode, I will be showing you how you can fix your own buttons onto your outfit. I specifically have a shirt with me right now, a smart shirt to be specific. And of course, I have my pair of scissors, I have my thread and my needle, and I have my buttons with me right now. So these are the items that you need, of course, to fix them onto your outfit or whatever outfit you have that requires a button on. So let's go on a break, and when we come back, we're going to go straight into fixing our shirt and showing you, of course, how you can do it. Stay tuned.
Glamville Wellness and Beauty Spas brings you Glamville Express Spa. Exclusive to Lusaka, and it is day and night. Glamville Express Spa has been brought to your doorstep to remind you that an express service is possible, especially when time is only convenient for you when you least expect it. Come through either before sunrise or after sunset, and we will be ready to serve you. Glamville Express Spa, a day and night express spa readily available for you. Located at Lake Filling Station along Lake Road opposite Crossroads Mall.
Welcome back. So before we went on our break, I showed you the items that you need to fix those buttons onto your outfit. And now we're going to go straight into fixing those buttons. So I have my buttons here, and I have 6 buttons with me right now because the ones that I'm fixing on this shirt are supposed to be 6. So this shirt was purchased without buttons, but simply because I love the print, I just love everything about the shirt, and I said, I can fix those buttons. It's a simple thing. So that's why I have these buttons with me right now that I got, and of course my thread and my needle and my pair of scissors. So the first thing you're going to do, of course, is you're going to get your shirt. If you're fixing a shirt at that particular time, you're going to get your shirt. Since I'm using a shirt, I'm going to talk about the shirt, the smart shirt. And you're going to place it on a flat surface, like what I'm doing right now. Okay? Like this. And make sure it's even. You straighten it out evenly, like what I'm doing, so that you can make sure, so that you are able to, I beg your pardon, so that you're able to make sure the buttons are sewn on evenly. So this smart shirt has 2 sides, okay? It has the side where we have to sew on our buttons, and it has the other side that has these openings here. These loopholes, I'll call them loopholes, where the button has to be secured when you're fastening the button. You know, when you're buttoning up, you fasten your button, right? So where the button enters, this is the other side. So you have to make sure they're even. And if you have a pair of a pen, or a pencil or chalk, so to say, you can actually mark the points where those buttons need to be. When you do this, you have to ensure you mark the points, so you know for sure that the side where the button is going to be and this side should be even, okay? So you have to make sure you mark that point, you mark this point, you mark this point until you finish marking all the points that you're going to put your buttons on. And I already did that before starting, but you can do that when you're doing when you're fixing your buttons, you can do that. So you can use a pen or a pencil, or you can even use a piece of chalk. You can use that. Alternatively, you can actually even just do what I've done, and then already these openings are going to show you to say this is definitely where the button has to be. So that can also work. So now let's go straight into putting our buttons onto our shirts. So what you're going to do is you get your thread, and you're going to make sure you attach it to the needle I have this size of needle because it's easy to pull the thread through. And like having those small ones, you will struggle and struggle just to put the thread through. So I like to use the bigger needles because they're easier they make my life easier, so to say. So I've gotten my thread and I'm going to put it through the needle, like what I'm doing, like that. So like I said, it's easy. One time and the thread has gone through. So now you're going to make a knot at the end, because what we don't want is a situation where when we start sewing, it starts coming off. So you have to make sure you create a knot and cut off the excess thread, like what I've done. And then you're going to start sewing your buttons. So you're going to get the first button. I'll start at the bottom and then I'll go up. You're going to place it right where you marked, where you put your marking. It doesn't have to be so, the marking doesn't have to be big, please. Make sure it's just a little bit so that it just guides you where you need to put your button. And then you're going to get your needle and your thread. You're going to open your shirt like that and you're going to pass it through like that and make sure it goes through the hole on the button like that. And you have to ensure you bring it back like that by simply pushing it through the other hole. So the button has 4 holes. So you have to ensure as you are sewing, you're literally going through all those holes about 2 or 3 times and you're good to go. So I've done the first securing, I've done it with my thread. Now I'm securing the other side as well. Okay? So this is the second one I've done. So I'm going in with my third sewing, and I'm pushing it through the other hole on the button that I didn't use, like that, onto the other one, like that. So I'm going to do that one last time, like that, and like that. At this point, I'm going to create a knot at the bottom like this so that I can secure the button so that it doesn't fall off. You have to make sure you create that knot like that and pull to ensure that it's firm. Get your pair of scissors or your blade. Alternatively, you can use a razor blade, and cut off the excess cotton like that. So I have secured my first button and it's evenly secured. And I'm going to go to the next one. And like I counted, I have 6 buttons. So I'm going to go to the next one. Same procedure. You make your knot, cut off the excess because you want it to be as neat as possible. Place it where you marked. Do not forget that. Like that. Okay. And make sure you pass that needle through the hole on the button, like what I'm doing right now. Go to the next one. Like that. Make sure you pull as you are making those knots. Make sure you pull so that the button is secure. So we are pulling through with our last round, like that. And we are going to make our knot, like that. Okay. I've secured my second button and I'm going to cut off my excess, like that. And we're going to go to the third button. You see, it's very simple. Very, very simple. So we don't want those excuses where when you want to wear something, you get your shirt, you get your trousers, you look at it and you're like, oh my God, I have to change my outfit. Taikwete bata. No, we're not going to allow such excuses. You can simply fix that button. You can fix it on your own, okay? So please, let's not rush to tailors or rush to someone who's at home to fix this for you when you can simply do it yourself. Especially that you're looking at what I'm doing and you're following the steps. You'll be able to do this yourself. So I'm done with the third button, and I'm going to secure it by creating that knot that we're creating on the others. Like that. Pull. And we cut off the excess cotton. And make sure when you make your thread, make sure you make something that's long enough so that you don't have to go back and make another. You have to make more thread for the buttons. So you have to ensure you make enough. I'm going on with my fourth button. Same process, same procedure, nothing different. Making sure that the button is secured with the thread, using our needle, and ensuring that the button is right on the marked part of the shirt. Remember, you have to ensure you mark the shirt to ensure that it's even with the opening that secures the button when you're fastening your button. Okay, we are getting there. And then we make our knot at the bottom like that. Cut off your excess cotton. And then we go on to our fifth button. Remember to make that knot, same procedure, same process, nothing different. And you get your button, your fifth button, you put it onto your shirt, and sometimes you can even actually, you find that you get a shirt, yeah? I've had some experiences where I buy a shirt, I like the print, I like the design, but I don't like the buttons. And I'll just say, I'll get it, I'll remove the buttons that are there, I'll replace them with buttons that I would want. So you can actually do that. You don't have to leave something because I'm a button tayaweme. I don't like the color of the buttons. The buttons are off. But I'm here to tell you that you can change that. Get that shirt. If you left that shirt in that store, go and get it. Remove those boring buttons or those buttons that you thought were off for that shirt. Remove them and replace them with the ones that you would want to replace them with. You can even get these in most of these tailored shops. You'll find these buttons there. So get that favorite color that you feel can pop on that shirt and secure your buttons on. No machine. The machine is your hands. So please, let's do this and we're good to go. So we're getting there, almost getting there. Almost getting there. Okay. There we go. And you create that knot at the bottom like that. And cut off your excess. Make sure it's as neat as possible. And we are securing our final and last button. Our final and last button, which is our sixth button. So even for the last one, I'm using the same process. I'm creating that knot. And of course, cutting off the excess. And because my knot is a little small, so I need to create another one there, just to ensure that it's thick. Getting my last button, placing it where I marked, of course, and sewing through like I'm doing. And the beauty about doing this is you can even do it while you're seated. I'm doing it while I'm standing, but you can do it while you're seated actually. And before you know it, you'll be done with your fixing of your buttons onto your outfit. So I'm almost getting there. I'm just making my note at the bottom to ensure that my button is secure and it does not fall off. And you cut off. So at this point, I'm done with securing my buttons onto the shirt, and we're going to go on a break. And when we come back, I'm coming to show off and show you how these buttons look even when they are fastened and secured. Stay tuned.
The world runs on us. At Metro, we understand that life doesn't stop for anyone. That's why we provide quality fuel needed to keep your day running. With our convenient locations and reliable service, you can trust us to keep you moving. So come to Metro Filling Station and let us run your world.
Welcome back. So before we went on our break, I showed you how you can secure your buttons on your outfit. Like I said, I have my smart shirt with me right now, and it's the one that I used to secure the buttons. I loved it, but it didn't have the buttons, but I managed to put those buttons myself. So I ran you through the process. I stuck on the buttons, and I've fastened the buttons, and I'm here to show you how it actually looks after the buttons have been put. So this is how our smart shirt looks with our buttons that have been secured neatly, and as you can see, I've fastened them. I have fastened all of them, and they're evenly put together. So this is what we have. I hope you can see that, and I hope you love what I've done. And I know right now you're going to get those shirts that you've packed because you thought they were not good enough because they don't have buttons, and I know you're going to get them, and you're going to fix those buttons yourself with all the products that I've showed you and the items that I used for this tutorial. So let me run you through quick on the process of doing this sticking process of these buttons, or rather fixing those buttons onto your outfit. The first thing that you need, of course, is that outfit that doesn't have that button, or that outfit that doesn't have buttons. And of course, you need the button that you need to secure. Sometimes it can even be that button that came off. You just get it, get your thread, get your needle, create that thread through your needle, sew it on, follow the process that I did. If you can't put it evenly like the way I was doing it, you can actually mark those points with a pen, a pencil, or your chalk, just to make sure that it's as even as possible. And when you are done, secure that button and you're good to go. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you're going to do this yourself. No more excuses. If those buttons fall off, fix it yourself. If that shirt in the store doesn't have buttons but you love it, get it, buy buttons and fix them on, and you're also good to go. Thank you for catching up with me, Chilamo Zulu, aka Chichi Badu. Until next time, it's bye-bye.